Look at this beautiful red leaf. I love fall. It's so gorgeous and cozy, and welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Alexis, and today we're going to talk about how to feel comfortable being alone. No matter where life takes you or where you go, you have yourself. It's very important to try and make your head and everything within you a comfortable place to be. I have definitely gone through periods of my life where I did not feel comfortable being alone. It made me anxious. It made me think too much. I was scared of the thoughts that would come up when I was alone. And honestly, those thoughts that come up when you were alone are only surfacing to teach you what you need to heal from in order to be comfortable with yourself. For a long time, I was running from those thoughts and feelings instead of embracing them and sitting with them and working with them. As a kid, and even now, honestly, I moved all the time. I think I went to like 4 or 5 different elementary schools. I went to a few different middle schools, a few different high schools. I think I've moved about 30 times or more now. Really had to figure out how to feel comfortable being alone and going to new places, and understanding that not everybody was going to like me everywhere I went. As much as I wanted that, and sometimes still do, not everybody's going to like you. But I've realized as long as you like you, it won't really matter. There were schools that I went to where I was popular, however you want to categorize that when you're 10 or 9 years old. And then there were other schools where I wasn't at all. It's just going to be different everywhere you go, and you can't count on everybody always liking you. I learned that the hard way. Sometimes tried changing who I was in hopes that people would like me more. I always said that I didn't care what people think, but that couldn't have been further from the truth. Even now, like, I still am working through those things. I think as I've gotten older, I've cared less and less about what people think. If you love me, that's great. If you don't, that's great too. I'm gonna send that person love and light and just move on with my life and hope for the best for them. For me, most people's perception of you is just a projection of themselves. You will trigger things in people, and those are usually things that will show them what they need to heal. But if they're not ready for that, they're not going to see that, and they're just going to be triggered, and it's not really going to go anywhere. For a long time, I took everything personally. Everything. I just learn to stop taking everything so personal, because a lot of times it's not personal. I feel like with videos like this, I'm always going to be getting sidetracked because I just always have a lot to say. I know you're going to hear it a million times. You probably already have, to just be yourself. And it's true. If you are just 100% yourself, you love yourself, you're going to attract the people that are meant for you. That's why it is so good to be comfortable being alone and being comfortable doing things alone and being your own best friend. The only way to eventually be comfortable by yourself is to be alone. Like, that sounds so simple, but the more time you spend alone with yourself, the more comfortable you will be alone with yourself. The more you go out and do things alone, the more you're going to be comfortable going out and doing things alone. If you have the desire to be comfortable with yourself, you have to just do it. And I know it's hard. I know anxieties and fears come in, but that's where the growth comes in. That's where the healing comes in. For a long time, like, there were certain things I wanted to do or places that I wanted to go, and if I couldn't find anyone to go with me, I just wouldn't go, no matter how bad I wanted to, because I was scared and uncomfortable being alone with myself, I was like, oh, it's gonna be no fun, like just being by myself, like meh. As I started pushing myself more and more to like go out and do things by myself and go places by myself and experience things that I wanted to experience, I started having way more fun with it. And now, like, of course, I like to invite my friends to do things with me, but if no one can go, I'm still gonna go. And I've learned to enjoy my own company and have a lot of fun with myself. Spend more time alone with your thoughts. I know it's scary, but that's when you're gonna heal. That's when your subconscious and your brain is going to reveal to you what your triggers are, what you need to work on. There are a lot of deep-rooted issues in healing that can only be triggered by other people, but there are a lot of things that just being alone will trigger for you to start working through. For example, I talk to myself all day, and like, I love talking to myself. I think I'm funny. I entertain myself. I always know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always understanding what I'm saying, obviously. But, like, I'm comfortable with that. Like, if someone saw me talking to myself, like, I wouldn't be like, oh my god, like, they're gonna think I'm crazy. Just more like, oh yeah, I was just talking to myself. No big deal. It's fun. I enjoy my own company. I guess this is also just a message that if you have a hard time doing things alone or being alone right now, that if you just put a little effort into it and give yourself more love that you're giving to everyone else, you will eventually be comfortable being alone and be comfortable with yourself. Even just last year, I was saying, like, I just don't want to live alone. I could never live alone. Now, like, I love living alone. Like, I love my alone time. I love living by myself because I lived with other people before, and like, it's not terrible living and sharing spaces with people, but like, after doing that for so long, I was terrified to live alone. And at first, like, it was very scary, like moving into a new apartment in a new town, like by myself, was terrifying, but the amount of growth I have seen just from spending all that time alone is incredible, and I highly recommend it to everyone if that's what they're trying to achieve. I just want you to know, like, it is possible. It's very possible. I was terrified of being by myself for a long time, and now I really enjoy my alone time, and I need my alone time. Like, I need it, or I feel like I'm gonna go a little crazy. If you want to be comfortable being by yourself, becoming your own best friend, all of those things, you're just gonna have to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and just be alone. Over time, it'll get easier and easier, and you'll learn to love it, and soon enough, you'll be going out and doing things by yourself and enjoying it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye. I love you guys.